Palestine, a land where loyalties are as ancient as the soil and family bonds dictate affections and fates. In this realm of deeply rooted traditions and unbreakable ties emerges a man whose life daringly defies the narrative crafted by his ancestry. His name is Musab Hassan Yosef. His story unfolds at the intersection of betrayal and salvation, faith and disappointment, fear and courage. Born to Sheikh Hassan Yosef, a firebrand founding leader of Hamas, Musab was poised to rise as a prince within a faction sworn to Israel's destruction. Yet, destiny had a different draft in store for him. What leads the son of a Hamas leader to turn against his father's cause? An organization that is internationally recognized as a terrorist group, with its unyielding commitment to armed conflict and political ideologies. How does he end up spying for the very state his family's organization vowed to obliterate? This is not just a tale of spying. It's a narrative that challenges the core of convictions, beliefs, and the invincible human spirit. It's a journey from the heart of Hamas to the arms of Israeli intelligence and beyond, to a life where the past is an ever-present shadow. Join us as we delve into the life of Musab Hassan Yosef, unraveling a saga that can only be described as incomprehensible. This is the story of a man who walked the razor's edge, a story that begs the question, can one ever truly escape the sonnet of their bloodline? This is how the son of a Hamas leader became an Israeli spy. In the swirling sands of the Middle East, a new chapter began in 1987 with the First Intifada, a Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation. In that severe conflict, Hamas was forged, advocating for an Islamic Palestinian state and quickly gaining momentum. Sheikh Hassan Yosef stood among the founders, his voice becoming a symbol of resistance as he co-founded Hamas in December of that pivotal year. It was within this landscape of passionate idealism that Musab Hassan Yosef was raised, his cradle rocked by the tremors of the uprising. Musab's childhood in the early 1990s was a mixture woven with the daily realities of the Israeli-Palestinian scrabble. Amidst the echoes of his father's call for an Islamic state, the young boy's eyes were open to the endless cycle of violence. In the Yosef home, life was a contrast. Publicly, Sheikh Hassan Yosef rallied for Hamas's cause, while privately he nurtured his family in the faith and traditions of their people. Yet, even as the Oslo Accords promised peace in the mid-90s, the stark reality of conflict persisted outside their door. As the new millennium approached, Musab's journey took an unexpected turn. The young man, born amidst conflict on May 5, 1978, began questioning the path before him. The intifada that had cradled his childhood now seemed to Musab a cycle from which he yearned to break free. It was in 1997, as the streets of Gaza continued to simmer with unrest, that Musab found himself at a crossroads that would alter the course of his life and the lives of those around him forever. As the 20th century drew to a close, a series of events would steer Musab Hassan Yosef down a path fraught with peril and profound change. It was in the shadows of a Jerusalem prison cell that Musab's allegiances began to waver. Arrested by Israeli forces in 1996, primarily related to his activities with Hamas, Musab found himself in solitary confinement, left to wrestle with the stark contradictions between the teachings of his youth and the brutal realities he witnessed. He saw the inhumane treatment of prisoners by Hamas inmates. This vicious campaign, aimed at weeding out supposed Israeli collaborators, involved torture and killings, which profoundly impacted Yosef. Witnessing such brutality led him to question the methods and goals of Hamas. Upon his release, the Israeli security agency, Shin Bet, approached him. It was an offer shrouded in secrecy and danger, an opportunity to work as an informant. The year was 1997, and the decision he was about to make would turn the tide of his life. The risks were immense. A single misstep could lead to death, but within Musab, a conviction grew, a hope that his actions could save lives and perhaps carve a path to peace. Adopting the codename Green Prince, Musab began his double life. He tried to balance conflicting loyalties while walking on a high tightrope. Each piece of intelligence he passed to Shin Bet, a step away from his past and towards an uncertain future. Musab would live this secret existence for 10 years, a solitary figure in a place where trust was as scarce as peace. His information led to the prevention of assassinations, exposed suicide bombers, and disrupted countless Hamas operations. But what of the cost? The personal toll on Musab was immeasurable. With each secret divulged, with each plot foiled, the son of Hamas drifted further from the father he once revered. As Musab Hassan Yosef walked through the twisting dark alleys where danger lurked behind every corner, he knew he was embarking on a treacherous journey toward an uncertain future. The turn of the century saw the Green Prince weaving through a web of spying, defining the next decade of his life. Musab's life was a mosaic of dualities as an informant, faith and betrayal, risk and protection, truth and deception. Every meeting with his Shin Bet handlers was a delicate balance, a chess game played with human lives as pawns. The intelligence Musab provided was gold dust. His unprecedented access within Hamas's echelons allowed Shin Bet to thwart attacks, leading to the arrest of several high-profile figures, including his own father, Sheikh Hassan Yosef, in 2002. I told my mother where my father was hiding, and I let her visit him. 5 minutes after she arrived at the safe house, special forces poured into the area. My father had no idea that his son had given him up in order to protect him from being assassinated. This quote encapsulates the depth of Musab Hassan Yosef's involvement and the complexity of his decisions during his time as an informant. The Green Prince's information also led to the derailment of a potential assassination of Shimon Peres, then Israel's foreign minister, and countless other acts of violence were stopped in their tracks, lives saved by whispers in the dark. Yet, each successful operation was a double-edged sword, cutting ties with his past and isolating Musab even more. As the years passed, the psychological toll became a silent struggle. The Green Prince grappled with guilt and isolation, the immense pressure of his hidden life manifesting in ways no training could prepare him for. Musab held fast to a sliver of hope through it all, that his actions might be a bridge to peace. But at what cost? As we turn the page from the undercover intelligence corridors to the glaring spotlight of exposure, we witness a spy's carefully guarded world unraveling. When the Green Prince's decade-long pretense crumbles, Musab Hassan Yosef comes into the light of exposure in an unexpected way. His work was revealed publicly, not through an intelligence leak or discovery by Hamas, but by his own volition. The year 2010 marked the end of secrecy as Musab's memoir, Son of Hamas,